Hey guys, Dr. Kresimir here, chiropractor from London, Ontario, Canada, helping people live extraordinary lives through the power of structural chiropractic care and life by design principles. On today's video, I'm going to be showing you an exercise using one of these guys that you need to fix if you're experiencing that pinching, deep shoulder pain that gets worse when there's some type of horizontal pushing. Now, there's going to be an actual exercise, but before we get there, please like, share, and subscribe. Let's get this information out to more people in order to help them. Shoulder's tricky. When we look at your shoulder, the way that it's built and created, it's very unstable. And the reason that it's very unstable is because it allows for the greatest range of motion. Like when you think about it, there's 180 degrees possible of range of motion in your shoulder. In order to get that, we have to sacrifice some stability in the joint. So the shoulder is held together primarily by muscles, ligaments, and tendons, whereas something like your hip joint, it's called the ball and socket joint because there's the ball at the end of your femur that fits into the hip. It's a really, really solid joint. Your shoulder is the opposite. My point in telling you that is to start the dialogue that it's very challenging to fix shoulder pain. There's a lot of potential problems. So on today's video, I'm going to be showing you one of the things that I commonly see with people, and that has helped people when we've used this exercise in the past. So what tends to happen, especially if you're working out or training a lot and you're doing a lot of, bench press or pull-ups, or even a lot of stuff where you're in a position where you're holding or controlling something in front of you, we tend to let the joint get loose. So when we're doing things in front of us, we need our shoulder blades to be pulled back and down. And when they're pulled back and down, that part of our shoulder is stable. So now we can safely, bench press or do push-ups. But and myself included, but what we tend to do is we hold this position really, really loose. And then when we're pushing, it can cause impingement or pinching. So when you use, and this isn't a very strong band, but it's strong enough. So the exercise really is really simple. When you're doing those motions, you want to, put this either, and I'll show you on the bench, but either elbows or wrists is fine. And then when you do those motions, because you have to push out, to get your arms to go down, the band pushes back. And now as a result, you are stabilizing the scapula in the back of the shoulder. So word of caution and kind of funny, I don't actually have a bench here in the office. So this is my makeshift bench press bench. Do not use something like this at home, but it goes like this. Right, so if I'm benching, my hands are up like this, I'm pulling the band apart, and then when I pull down, my shoulders stay nice and tight. And the same thing is true even with push-ups, right? So if I slide back a little bit so you can see me, my hands are apart, but now I'm forced to pull them apart, and I can do push-ups much safer. It's sore, right? You can definitely feel you having to force against the band, but that helps your external rotators, and it helps keep your shoulder stable. So it's not an exercise in terms of do this for reps. It's an exercise that when it's an exercise to use when you're doing these exercises. It'll help keep things stable. And as an aside, as we're wrapping things up here, we need to figure out, we need to do less rehab stuff and more figuring out what we're doing to get into the place of we need to do rehab stuff, if that makes any sense, right? Everything that we're doing that's causing our bodies to break down needs to be examined and done in the safest possible way so our bodies don't break down, so we don't have to keep rehabbing these things over and over again. If you have any comments or questions, please post them below. I hope you're having a great day. If you're in London today, it's a beautiful day. Haven't seen the sun in a long time, so I'm looking forward to enjoying it. See you soon.